everyone, and welcome back to another video. So today I decided I wanted to talk about the top 10 book series that I want to complete in the year 2021. So all the series I want to talk about today are ones that I believe are all finished, like completed. No more books are coming out in this series or the trilogy or the duology. So I believe all of these are completely done. So I should be able to finish them, hopefully, fingers crossed. But yeah, I decided I want to talk about all of these with you all today. So let's jump into it. The first series I want to finish is the Folk of the Air trilogy by Holly Black. This is the third and final book in the trilogy, The Queen of Nothing, and this is the only one I have to finish. I also have the kind of companion novel to it that I also want to read this year called How the King of Elfham Learned to Hate Stories. So I really want to finish this one this year, mainly because I held off on getting this for a while until I could find the Barnes & Noble Black edition here. But yes, I'm very excited to finish this series. I remember reading the first one in it and thinking it was like just okay. I didn't really understand the hype too much, but then I read the second one and really enjoyed it. So I can't wait to see how this one goes, especially seeing how the second one left off. So I'm very excited to finish this off. I don't think it should take me very long. It's a pretty, not like super long novel, so it's pretty short. So I don't think it will take me very long. But yeah, it's just one of those like young adult fantasy series with fae, and it's great. So I can't wait to get to that one. Next, I want to complete a duology, and that is the Merciful Crow duology. The first one being the Merciful Crow, and the second one here is the Faithless Hawk. This is by Margaret Owen. I thought the first one was pretty decent. It wasn't like the best thing out there, but I thought it was unique, so I really enjoyed the concept of it. Basically, this duology follows different castes in this kingdom, and one of these castes is the Crow caste, and they're like the lowest caste. They're the only ones who go around and kind of dispose of dead bodies and the ill if they need to get disposed of. So this follows our main character, Fi, or Fee, however you want to pronounce it, and she kind of gets roped into this kind of conspiracy with the prince and his bodyguard, and it kind of just takes off from there. And it is a adventurous kind of unique novel, and I really want to see how it ends, so I can't wait to finish it off. This, I do have the arc of it, that's why this is paperback, but it came out July of last year, and I still haven't gotten to it yet, so I do want to finish it this year. Next is actually another duology, and it is the Strange the Dreamer duology by Laini Taylor. I have read Strange the Dreamer and need to finish it off. This is Muse of Nightmares. I loved Strange the Dreamer. I thought it was written beautifully. It's probably one of my favorite books of the year that I had read it, and it was a couple of years ago that I read it, and I don't know what is holding me off from reading this, but I really need to finish the series off. I have been told that this one is also like really good, but I love the concept of Strange the Dreamer. I love how there are these like godlike figures who are living on this like weird planet palace thing floating above the clouds, and the main character kind of like is curious by this and really does a lot of research. But I love the relationships between the characters. I love the characters in general. Just everything about it was so beautiful, and like I said, the writing style itself is just exquisite. So I do need to finish this duology off. I cannot wait to do this. I love that this is a duology too, because now I don't have to like continue to keep waiting for more in the series, so I can finish this off and be proud of it. Why don't we just stick with the same theme and go with another duology here, and that is the Six of Crows duology. I read Six of Crows years ago, and I have yet to read Crooked Kingdom here. I don't really have an excuse for this. Oh, and this is not torn, by the way, it's just a damn sticker that I could not get off. Why do people put stickers on books when they're not easy to take off? I don't know. But yes, Six of Crows, I'm sure everyone here knows what Six of Crows is about. You know, the classic heist story, probably one of the best of them, but this one I heard will break your heart. So I guess that's probably one of the reasons why I didn't finish it. But I do remember starting to read this at one point, and I guess I put it down for whatever reason. I don't really know, but I am excited to complete the duology. That way I can actually get into King of Scars, which is now in paperback, but I have it in hardcover, and I need to continue on with this series. And I'm so excited for the Netflix show. I cannot wait to see what they do with our beloved characters. Oh, and I love this sprayed edges here. But yeah, you know, heist story, can't get much better than that. I just need to complete the duology. The next one I want to complete is Sabaa Tahir's Ember in the Ashes Quartet, I think it is. I read Ember in the Ashes, and I have here A Torch Against the Night and A Reaper at the Gates, and I believe the fourth, and I believe it's the final one, just came out recently, and I cannot for the life of me remember what the title of that one is, but if I figure it out, I'm going to put it right here, right at the bottom of the screen, because I'll look it up as soon as I'm done filming this and probably hit myself in the head because I forgot it. But yes, I loved An Ember in the Ashes when I read it a few years ago, and I immediately picked up A Torch Against the Night, but I didn't read it, and that is just, you know, classic book collector, booktuber right there, buying the next book in the series and not reading it right away. But yeah, you know, a classic YA fantasy, just with some amazing characters. There's great character development, and I can't wait to see where it goes. I'm really sorry that I'm not giving very good synopsis of these series, but that's because I'm trying to film a lot of videos in one day today, and I'm forgetting everything. But I'm hoping I'm giving like a brief enough kind of synopsis. Also, I'm sure everybody knows what these series are anyway. But yes, I need to complete this, and this is the only series that I have here today that I don't actually have the final book for. So everything else, I do have the final book and I can jump right into it, but these I do not. And also I would have to read 3 more books to complete this series. I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself, I think, this year. But yeah, so definitely I want to try to get to this, at least to get to the second one. I at least need to continue it, but I'm hoping to finish it this year. That's why it's on the list. And then what else should I talk about? Let's see. Next, I'm going to talk about the Dark Artificers trilogy by Cassandra Clare. So I read Lady Midnight, loved it, and I need to read Lord of Shadows and Queen of Air and Darkness. I have heard Lord of Shadows will probably break my heart and just rip it into 1,000 pieces. So can't wait for that. But yeah, Cassandra Clare, if you don't know, I would be surprised if you don't, but she writes in the same world. All of her books are pretty much set in the same world, and that is the world of the mortal instruments. So there are these shadow hunters who fight demons and live amongst, you know, regular humans, but they are hidden from the eye of humans if they so choose. But it's pretty much about them fighting bad guys and demons and things like that and protecting the world. And each trilogy and series just follows a different set of characters. This one is actually the children of the original Mortal Instruments series. I thought the Mortal Instruments series, I'm going to set these down, these are really heavy. The first Mortal Instruments, that series is 6 books long, and I thought it just dragged forever. It did not need to be 6 books long. Should have been just the 3 books that it was originally going to be. That's just my opinion. So I just didn't really enjoy that one. But then when you get into the Infernal Devices, whole different ballgame right there. Loved it. My favorite books of the year that I read it. I cried my eyes out about 15 times in Clockwork Princess, which is the final one. Just phenomenal. And then I also, Chain of Gold. I don't know. Can you even see it? No, you can't. I don't know. But Chain of Gold is the newest installment of Cassandra Clare's world, and that one is following the Children of the Infernal Devices series, trilogy. and that one's also just phenomenal. But yeah, I did enjoy Lady Midnight, so I do want to finish these, and these are chunky. These are big boys. So I should prepare myself to read these, but yes, I do want to get to these. It's taken me too long, so I hope that I can get to them. And I'm also, like, my reading game is picking up a little bit more, so hopefully I can complete these. Oh my gosh, how many more series do I have to talk about? 4 more series. The next one that I want to try to complete, I only have 1 book left in it, but it is the Poppy War Trilogy by R.F. Kuang. Oh my gosh, you can't even see it. Kind of, I guess. Poppy War Trilogy. I read Poppy War and the Dragon Republic back to back. Those are the first 2 books. And then I had an arc of the Burning God, and I had started reading it, got to page 46, and I wasn't really feeling it, so I put it down. But I do want to complete it this year. The Poppy War Trilogy is this dark epic fantasy series that's based on, I think, 20th century Chinese history, and then it combines it with fantastical elements like magic and beasts and what else is in fantasy? A lot of other elements, but it does such a good job of combining the fantasy elements with actual historical events that I just, like, flew through the first 2, and the characters are just, like, top tier characters. I absolutely love these characters. So I was really excited when I got the arc here of the last one, and I was going to do a whole reading vlog of this. I actually did do a reading vlog reading these first 2, and then was supposed to jump into this one, and I never completed the reading vlog because I never finished this trilogy. So hopefully I can finish this year. I have heard that it's not the best in the trilogy, and that might be, like, kind of influencing my reading of this, but I do want to try to finish it and form my own opinions. But yeah, this is one of them. So the next series that I want to finish is one that I just started last year, and that is the Imperium? Let me look. The Imperium Trilogy by Clare Legrand. So this one is starting with Furyborn, the next one's Kingsbane, and the final one is Lightbringer. But this one, I read Furyborn last year, and I read it in a day. It was phenomenal. I think, did a reading vlog, like a 24-hour kind of reading vlog for this book, and I think it was for Dewey's 24-hour readathon. So if I did, I will leave the link to it in the link up above there. So yeah, check that out if you're interested in my thoughts on this. But I loved this so much. Has those dual POVs with these 2 badass heroines set years apart from each other, and then there's this mystery involving stuff, magic, everything you can want in a young adult fantasy, and I absolutely loved this so much. So much so that in my reading of the first one, I immediately bought Kingsbane. Haven't read it yet, obviously, but I am very excited to get to it. And then the final one here, Lightbringer, I believe it is the final book in this trilogy, but this one was very kindly gifted to me by Stephanie from Miss Richards Reads. I'm pretty sure that's who gave it to me. I will leave her link in the description down below to her channel, but yeah, she is great. Thank you so much for gifting me this for my birthday, which is back in November, but I'm very, very excited to now have the complete set and to finish off the trilogy. So this one I am just so excited for, but they are also beasts, so gotta prepare myself for sure. We are almost done. So the second to last trilogy that I want to try to complete also has a kind of, I think it's like a spin-off novella, but I don't think you have to read it with it, so I'm not gonna completely, like, tell myself that I have to read that, like, spin-off one, but it is the Chronicles of the Unhewn Throne by Brian Staveley. So I read the first one, which is called The Emperor's Blades, few years ago now, and really, really enjoyed it. I liked it more than I thought I was going to like it, but the second one here is The Providence of Fire, and the third one is The Last Mortal Bond. This is adult epic fantasy at its finest, and it follows 3 siblings. Their parent, or their father, I believe, who was the king, recently died, and I believe if I can remember it correctly, I'm gonna have to look up a synopsis of the first one and kind of to refresh my memory before I dive into this, but it's pretty much about them trying to figure out what happened to their father, and they believe that it was not an accident. But it's also about like who's gonna be heir to the throne and where each one of these individual siblings are in their life. One is a like combat person where he flies this like creature thing here, and then the sister is more on the political side, even though women aren't really in this world. And then one other brother, who I believe is the heir, is kind of like a monk, but phenomenal. I love all the characters and I really can't wait. Also, it is a floppy paperback, which we love to see that. So this one was tentatively on my list, but I realized that it's taking me way too long to complete it, so I decided to put it on the list and hopefully I can get to them. So that's the trilogy, but there is one more here called Skullsworn, which might actually be set before the events of this said trilogy. So I'm not going to be pressuring myself to read it, but if I just love the world so much, like I know I did and just can't remember, I might pick this one up this year as well. But definitely going to try for these two. Alright, and then the final trilogy series that I want to finish out this year is one that is just so well loved in the booktube community, but that is the Daevabad Trilogy by S.A. Chakraborty. So that one's starting with the City of Brass here, then goes to the Kingdom of Copper and the Empire of Gold. So the Empire of Gold came out last year. I actually got an arc of it, but because I hadn't actually read these first two, I couldn't read the arc. But I did read City of Brass last year. It made it into my favorite books of 2020 list. So if you're interested in that, I'm going to leave the link also in the info card up above so you can check that out if you so wish. But yeah, I'm very, very excited to complete this trilogy. It is following a young woman who is a con artist in 18th century Cairo, I think it is, and she unknowingly summons a Jinn warrior who just whisks her way to Daevabad, the City of Brass, and kind of takes off from there. She realizes that she part Jinn, and she's from this like older family who everybody thought was lost forever, got wiped out. But yeah, it's a very like politically driven series, and I am just excited to see where it goes. From what I've heard, the Kingdom of Copper actually takes place some years in the future, which I'm very excited to see that kind of shift in the storyline. But yeah, I am so ready to finish this because I loved the first one so much. I love the characters. They're probably some of my favorite characters of all time. But yes, I am very excited to finish this off. Alright, so there you have it, everyone. Those were the top 10 series that I want to finish in the year of 2021 this year. I hope to do it. Let me know down below which series I should probably prioritize, which ones are your favorites, which ones maybe that you didn't like so much. Just let me know. I would love to chat about these. So please like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun YouTube stuff, and I will see you all next time. Bye!